I was wrong about Project 2025. MAGA hates Project 2025, and I thought that Donald Trump actually cared about his base because in his first term, he seemed to be swayed by his base. He seemed to listen to his base.
Wait a second. Wait. MAGA hates Project 2025?
Yeah, I'm not buying that.
Where's the evidence of that?
Yeah.
What? What is this MAGA?
MAGA, however you want to call it, MAGA. Dude, they love Project 2025. Like, where did we get the idea that they hate the idea of a Christian theocratic government that eviscerates all the gay people and makes it like whites only with power? That's exactly what MAGA wants. That's what they love, bro. They would bend over and take a broomstick up the ass like 3 times a day to have a theocratic fucking Jesus, Bible snorting government. Are you shitting me? If they could like walk around using the N-word and have no ramifications, I bet MAGA would be all on board, bro. They'd be like, count us in. Let's go. Oh, shit, hell.
You know what? Sam is totally right. It is he who understands the MAGA base better than anyone else. I mean, the guy goes out of his way to engage in dialogue with Trump voters. He seeks to understand where their hearts and minds are at. Here he is telling.
What is she doing? Oh my God, dude. Dude, she's not even doing this ironically, guys. This is not parody. This is not fucking parody. This is like, she's being serious here. Getting into the hearts and minds of MAGA? Come on, Anna.
His openness to understanding people who vote differently than he does.
We can't take the power back without talking to Trump voters and making them realize their mistake. It doesn't have anything to do with talking to Trump voters.
Yeah, I don't really think winning. You think Trump voters are ever going to vote for the Democratic Party? Like, really? Nah, like we didn't lose because a whole bunch of Democrats voted for Trump. We lost because a whole bunch of Democrats didn't fucking vote. And a whole bunch of white MAGA shitheads did vote, right? Young white men, a whole bunch of them did vote because they're being red-pilled by Charlie Kirk and Andrew Tate and all these other fucking stupid motherfuckers. But like, does Anna think a whole bunch of Democrats defected and voted for the fascist rapist guy? Like, what? Just because she's ready to like stick her tongue in Rick Caruso's ass? She thinks everybody? And yes, because Elon paid $1 million a day to entice a bunch of rubes that never vote to give him their voter data so they could harvest their vote from them.
It's worth asking why Trump would repeatedly deny supporting Project 2025 on the campaign trail. Was it to appeal to libs like Sam Cedar? Or maybe.
Dude, she says it's worth asking why Trump would repeatedly deny Project 2025. And why is that? Because he didn't want to look like a threat. He didn't want to look dangerous. He knew if he looked dangerous, people that were on the fence, that were like, fuck this election, I don't like either of these candidates, but if they knew he looked dangerous, they would come out just to vote against him. So he was distancing himself from it because it was toxic and very bad, and it was going to guarantee that people would vote against him. If he looked not dangerous, then maybe they wouldn't vote for him, but a whole bunch of people wouldn't show up and vote against him. They might feel okay with sitting it out. That's why.
And are we going to pretend like Trump read a 900-page document? Really?
Really? Are we going to pretend like anybody ever thought Trump read a 900-page document? Are we going to pretend like the only thing that's really important in Project 2025 with them is the closing of the border, the purging of immigrants, and the forced participation in a Christian heteronormative culture dominated by Bibles being crammed up our fucking asses and gay and trans people having to run for the fucking hills? I mean, those are really the important parts. Cram the Bible up the ass and make sure everybody's white. Force people to have kids. That's really their biggest points, and control over what people can and can't have access to. But he doesn't give a shit about any of that. Like, dude, I still can't believe it, though. He's there. There they are. They're literally doing Project 2025. All of the writers now have cabinet positions, and Anna is still sitting here going, well, he's not really implementing Project 2025. Like, dude, what is going on? Who's paying you, Anna? Whose name is on the check?
Many have not been evaluated by the FDA in decades. The majority are safe, but some chemicals allowed here have been banned overseas after research has linked them to cancer and developmental or behavioral issues.
Is the food industry basically policing itself?
I would say yes.
45% of the FDA's overall budget now comes from the companies it's reviewing, and 65% of the FDA's budget specifically for human drug regulation comes directly from Big Pharma itself.
The historic $2 billion payout by the U.S. Department of Agriculture to black farmers and other farmers of color who experience discrimination when applying to the USDA's farm loan programs.
The lender, who was a federal employee, who was employed by a government, spat on me. I was called the N-word from this same official.
Is the EPA turning a blind eye to these dangerous forever chemicals, and why?
Unfortunately, the EPA is not turning off the tap of these chemicals from the polluters who knew they were poisoning their workers in the 60s and their neighbors in the 70s and ultimately all of us. And they're continuing to allow these polluters to send their PFAS wastes not only into our rivers, but to our wastewater treatment plants, where then they are then sold to farmers who unknowingly contaminate their fields.
Whoopsies. Now,
You see, I'm trying to figure out what the point of this montage was, because she was just complaining about the government agencies, but the point of the government agencies is to be sussing that shit out, right? And what does she think now that Trump guts them, they're going to do a better job of that? Or what is her point?
You watch Beavis and Butthead on the Vanguard YouTube channel, which the majority report
she hates the Vanguard. Oh my God.
Hilariously treats as some authoritative source. You'd think that TYT is totally in favor of the Trump administration gutting federal agencies, except we're not. Two things can be true at the same time.
Oh, you're not. You're not in favor of Trump gutting the agencies. All right, well, that's good to know. But you literally have been polishing Trump's knob for like the last, we're 8 minutes in, and Trump's knob is shining like a fucking 𝗙𝗍 hubcap. Like, all right, you're really upset at Trump's, dismantling the agencies, but he's not doing Project 2025. Yeah, dude, she really thought she was cooking. She's like, it's weird. It's weird watching this because she comes in and it seems like in her eyes, she thinks she just cooked. She's like, she just laid out the Holy Grail. And everyone in the audience is looking at her and being like, the fuck is she on about, dude? What is she even saying?
These agencies have been deeply corrupted, do engage in waste, and should be reformed. But treating the federal workforce as if they're Twitter employees is a disastrous way to handle it, as we've been learning in recent weeks. But let's hear what Emma has to say about my on-air correction.
It is not the prediction. People make predictions all the time.
Right, I was wrong in my prediction about the election,
but
this
is not making some type of poly market bet here.
Yeah.
Where the outcome we can't tell.
Yeah.
There was an abundance amount of evidence of this. And even if your opinion, not prediction, opinion was, I can't see them doing this is pretty radical. The idea that you would mock people for believing it and saying it was a conspiracy theory. The people had Trump derangement syndrome. I'm sorry. Give me a break.
It's funny how she said, we're going to look at Emma talking about, but that was all Sam, dude. Dude, she got in her personal grievances. She did indeed. I mean, that's what she's all about. But that whole clip we just watched was Sam, talking the whole time. All Emma said was she was wrong about the election.
I forget that Sam usually doesn't let Emma get a word in edgewise, but I'll address what she said in that video in a second.
Okay. Okay. Now, I get it. You're using that clip to bash Sam. Dude.
Before I do, did I, Sam? Did I mock voters who were worried about Project 2025? Because I don't remember doing that. What I do recall is chastising Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party for offering nothing to voters other than incessant fear-mongering about Trump.
Let's see. What did she offer to voters? She offered to work on reproductive freedom. She offered an expansion of the business tax credit. She offered an extension of the child tax credit. What else did she offer? Down payment, money to get for home buyers. She definitely offered some significant policies. I do remember some significant policies. We also know that she was very left-wing in her ideals, even if she didn't openly say it because she was afraid it was going to cost her middle American voters because she was walking a tightrope of the racist, misogynist bullshit and the fucking far, far left eviscerating her because of Joe Biden and Gaza. So, like, she didn't do things perfectly, but to say that she didn't offer anything, like, what did Trump offer? What did Trump offer? What did he offer? He offered what? He was going fuck over transgender people. He was going to start concentration camps, and he promised he was going to cut our energy bills and grocery prices right away, which we all knew was a fucking lie. And he's not going to cut any prices, and tax cuts for the rich. So he had tax cuts for the rich, eviscerate transgender people, put brown people in concentration camps, and Project 2025. And you have the unmitigated gall to sit here and say that, like, that Kamala fear-mongered by talking about how god-awful that was. Anna, what the fuck is wrong with you? Jesus Christ, what is she doing, bro?
I also remember criticizing members of the media who simply regurgitated anything the Democratic Party claimed. I also found it fascinating that as the whole of the Democratic Party was engaging in said fear-mongering, they were also playing part in a massive cover-up about Biden's mental decline. I mean, just think about it.
Dude, again, they're obsessed with the Biden mental decline. Like, dude, what is the obsession with that? Like, Trump is mentally declining right now. Are his handlers going to admit it? No, of course not. You try to keep it together. When Reagan started declining, they just try to keep it together. Like, why are you obsessed with that? Like, do you not understand why they did that? They were just in a fucking sensitive situation. They were trying to win. They didn't want to end up where we are now, which is the fucking dumbass and a bunch of billionaire looters going in there and breaking everything apart. But she is like obsessed with the like, oh, they didn't tell us Biden was declining. Well, no shit. We could all tell Biden was fucking declining. We were doing our best to not focus on that shit because we didn't want to end up with Bibles being crammed up our fucking asses, Anna. But guess what? Now the Bibles are getting crammed up our asses and you're still there crying about Biden and his mental fucking faculties. Like, who fucking cares, bro?
Let's address the fact that inaccurate predictions are totally okay, but only when she's wrong. In the lead up to the presidential race, Emma declared that her final electoral college prediction is that Harris sweeps all 7 swing states and ekes out a victory in Iowa.
Dude, I thought the same thing, man. I thought she was going to win the swing states too. I honestly did, because he was so terrible. And I was certain that people saw Project 2025 and were like, no, we don't want that shit. No, Elon's spending $1 million a day. Why is a billionaire trying to buy this election? I thought we were smarter than that. I thought we were fucking smarter than that, but apparently we're not. Apparently America's filled with fucking dumb shits and or people like Anna Kasparian who get paid to fucking stick their head in their asses.
And of course, Trump, not Harris, went on to win all swing states and the popular vote.
Dude, I was super surprised by that. And he barely won the popular vote, 1.4%, and he didn't even win the majority. So let's not act like it was this huge thing.
The average of polls clearly showed Harris trailing Trump. She ran a horrific campaign. stood for nothing, was unpopular with anyone who was paying attention, and wasn't even.
See, I didn't really get the stood for nothing. I didn't get that, right? I get how a lot of people got mad that she was like pro-military and did the Liz Cheney thing. But like, dude, she had people carrying Holocaust Harris signs at the fucking convention. Like, how was she supposed to do that in 4 months? She was tied to this Gaza shit that you yourself, Anna, and your fucking network, like, set a fire on the back of the Democratic Party for a goddamn year. And then afterwards, you're like, she didn't run a good enough campaign. When these motherfuckers literally, like, were setting the Democratic Party on fire for an entire fucking year. All the left-wing media was. And then Trump was phony and lied and changed his abortion stance and lied about Project 2025, and all these idiots fucking covered for him. All of them. Dude, she is like, dude, this shot right here is, I'm going to take a screenshot of this, dude. I feel like that is a keeper right there, dude. Oh shit. There we go. That's a good one. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.